Blog Talk Radio.
Friends, welcome, one and all, to another episode of Magic Universe with Sharona. And I am your radio host and magical mama, Sharona Rapsick. I am an angel whisperer, and yes, I really do talk to angels, and guess what? You can too. And I am a tarot master teacher, an angel Reiki master, a life coach, and a teacher of the magical and intuitive arts. And I am coming to you live from the Big Apple, New York City. Woohoo! And tonight we have a moon in Leo. So, can anyone hear me roar? Okay. I'm so happy that you're joining me today. This little radio show is all about awakening and embracing your inner personal power and self-confidence and creating magic and miracles in all areas of your life by using a little bit of help from your angels and your guides and that wonderful divine and loving conscious energy of the magic universe that we are all a part of. So, if you're ready to live your magic, and yes, it's ready to be who you really are, then join me during this hour. I am going to invite you to step into your personal power and awaken your true magic. Okay, this show is brought to you by the Psychic Talk Radio Network. That's the one and only radio network with spirit and Psychic You. So you're going to want to visit www.psychictalk.net to learn more about our past and upcoming radio shows, as well as information about our wonderful hosts. Also, you're going to want to learn about our online courses offered at Psychic You. And while you're there, you might want to check out my course, the Certified Angel Reiki Practitioner course. Now, that's the only course where you get certified both as a Usui Reiki Master and an Angel Reiki Master. And it's all online. Okay. Now, the show is also brought to you by the Tarot School. So you're going to want to go to tarotschool.com. And there's just a whole load of wonderful, great stuff on their website. And the really cool thing is, even though the founders, Ruth Ann and Wald, are in New York City, they offer Monday evenings as the Tarot Salon, and that's completely on Zoom. So that's a really fun place to go on Monday nights. They're available most Monday nights. But what you want to do is go to tarotschool.com. And you want to, that's where you register if you want to do a Zoom with them, but also to learn more about everything that they offer. And they also have a newsletter. It's called Tarot School Tarot Tips. And while you're there, you might want to check out an article that I did for them. It's called Meet the Reader. Okay, let me just tell you a little bit about this show. It is a live call-in radio show. And here we talk about such topics as angels, crystals, energy healing, tarot and oracle cards, astrology, synchronicity, the law of attraction, how you can raise your personal energy so you can have good high vibrations, but mostly so you can create and generate and attract more love and magic into your life. Now, Magic Universe is on the air always on the second and fourth Sunday of each and every month. And you can listen to our show on the World Wide Web on your computer or your pad or however you go in on the Internet. You can do that at psychictalk.net. And also, if you don't want to do that, you can listen on your telephone too. And you do that simply by calling in to 714-816-4628. And you know what that reminds me? I should tell you, because this is a live call-in show, you can actually call in for a free mini reading, an angel message, or a little bit of angel Reiki, and also if you want to talk to our special guests. So, or if you just want to call in and say, hi, I like hanging out with you. And once again, I want to give you that number. It is 714-816-4628. Now, that is to listen. But that's not all. If you do want to be on the air, you need to press the number 1 after you get in on your keypad, because that way I will see you on the switchboard and I will be able to take your call. And remember, I do take the calls in the order that they are received. So if you hang up, you're going to lose your spot on the switchboard. And during our live shows, we also invite you to go into our chat room. Now, we have a new way of doing it. So you have to be on the web page at psychictalk.net, upcoming shows, and then you go in for this show. And then all the way down at the bottom of the page, you'll see a place where you can go in the chat room. So that's another way that you can get our attention. Okay, so we are ready to start rocking and rolling. Okay, today I have a really special guest that I know you're going to love. Her name is Lili of Bruja Lili Tarot. So to tell you a little something about this wonderful woman, she was born in El Salvador and first migrated to California as a young child. Lili's interest in all things mystical began, I guess, like me and a lot of you out there, when she was a teenager. Her interests included palm reading and analyzing her friends and family based on their astrological signs. Now, Lili has a YouTube channel where she posts free monthly love and money and career tarot readings for all astrological signs, and she does this in both English and Spanish. And she also does new moon and full moon tarot readings for the collective. Now, besides doing that, she's a really busy woman. She is also a practicing physician's assistant for 15 years. So she enjoys incorporating her intuitive abilities along with some healing magic with the art of medicine. Okay, welcome, Bruja Lili. Hello.
Hi, Sharona. Thank you so much for having me on your show.
I am so happy to have you here. And, this show is all about love and magic. So how do you bring love and magic into your life? I always lead off with that question.
That's a great question. I think that changes from maybe day to day or week to week, but most recently, the way that I'm bringing love and magic into my life here is I adopted 2 kittens about 2 weeks ago. And, I've never had cats before. This is my first time having cats as pets. And I've always considered myself a dog lover. But, my daughter loves cats. And so I decided, you know what, I have been avoiding getting her a cat. So she fell in love with one kitten, and I fell in love with another. So we couldn't agree on which one to take home. So we decided, you know what, they're sisters. Let's take both of them home.
Awesome.
And we're really enjoying them. They're a lot of fun. They're very funny, which is something I wasn't expecting about cats. But that's my most recent thing of, you know, cats are very magical in themselves, right? And they certainly bring a lot of love. Yeah, they bring a lot of love into our home. They're very loving, which is another thing I wasn't expecting from cats. You know, I always saw them as being like maybe standoffish, but these kittens are super sweet. So,
no, cats are awesome. You know, I mean, I love all kinds of animals, but I do have a special place in my heart for kitties. And I think people don't realize, you know, if they're dog people or, you know, they don't realize how smart and loving and great companions that cats can be.
Absolutely. And, you know, and it's nice to have, like, the love of a pet in a home. It's really something that maybe sometimes we take for granted if we have pets, or something that if you don't have pets, you don't consider for a long time. But then once you do have them in your home, you're like, oh, wow, you know, maybe that's what I was missing, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So you are a really busy lady. I mean, you know, you're reading tarot and helping people both with tarot, and you're also a healer and a magical woman. So, you know, you sound like me. I call myself a magical mama, but
I like
for
that.
those who don't know, Bruja means magical woman. Yeah. So I am talking with another magical woman.
Yes, we're magical women for sure.
Yeah. So, you know, why are you passionate? What makes you happy and passionate in your life? I know tell us a little bit about your work and what you do and why that brings, you know, love to your heart chakra.
Yeah. So, you know, I started my YouTube channel back in January 1st, 2020. And prior to that, I was really kind of called to tarot. And I just, you know, people ask me sometimes, why did you decide to start a YouTube channel? And I don't have any specific reason. I just decided, you know what, I want a YouTube channel. I want to start it, and this is going to be my starting day, right? And so prior to that, I, you know, studied tarot. I was taking classes in tarot. And one of the things that I find really fun and interesting about doing tarot on YouTube is just the wide range of people that you can really kind of communicate with, right? How collective messages can apply to, you know, because YouTube is worldwide. So I have, with my Spanish videos, I have viewers in Mexico and Peru and Argentina. And to me, it's just really, it's wonderful to like deliver these tarot messages that resonate for people throughout the world. You know, even though we're living in different countries, we're living different lifestyles. And it's really interesting to see how, like, for maybe, you know, different astrological signs, regardless of location, we tend to go through different cycles, right? And so people can relate to those different cycles that kind of come through in the tarot messages. So for me, that's one of the things that continues to drive me to do my YouTube channel, is just being able to connect with people in that way through tarot and through messages and through life cycles. So that's really kind of my drive with that. With my Instagram, I also, do a Sunday IG Live where I do draw cards for people for their week ahead. And that's also very fun, too, because, sometimes I'm providing a message for somebody for their week ahead. I don't really know how it's going to play out, but towards the end of the week, people will send me, DMs telling me, yo, remember that card that you pulled for me, at the beginning of the week? This is how it played out. You were so on point. And I was like, wow, that's so interesting, that the tarot, the tarot knows, even if I can't make sense of it at the time, the tarot knows what it's doing. So,
yeah. I mean, it's for those of you who aren't familiar with it, it's really, I always tell people, if you want to definitely get like a deck, and it's, it will develop your intuition. And,
right.
It's all divination. And for those of you who don't know what divination means, it means talking with the divine. Whatever you, consider the divine to be. It could be like your higher self, your intuition, but it could be whatever you perceive to be a higher force. It gives you, I guess because it's in symbols, one of the things that I love is I find it makes you more attuned and more present to like looking for symbols that are going on right around you. That's
right.
That's, and staying in the present moment. It's not all words, it's pictures and visions
right.
that, I guess what was that thing they used to say, a picture's worth 1,000 words. So that's kind of how the deck works. But, and you do,
yeah.
And you're a healer too. And of course, tarot in itself is really healing, but, tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so let's see here. So my mother is a nurse, and my dad is a doctor back in El Salvador. And so, I did grow up hearing stories of patients, at the dinner table. And I always, I was intrigued. I was intrigued by medicine growing up. However, when I went to college, I had never expressed an interest in medicine growing up, but when I went to college, I actually first got my degree in literature, in comparative literature from San Francisco State. And, I thought I was going to go on to maybe become a writer or, do something in the literary field. But once I graduated, I realized that, I wanted to do something more where I could concretely say, just like I can do these skills, and I was kind of drawn back to medicine at that time. So I went back to school, did all the science and biology that I needed to do, and I applied to become a physician and go to school to become a physician assistant. And I went to school here in California, Western University, and went through a 2-year program that was pretty rigorous, very intense. But very fun. And, I've been a PA now almost 16 years, and I've worked in different environments. I have worked at Planned Parenthood in different locations in California. I have worked in a private internal medicine practice. I've worked in, private gastroenterology practice, and now I'm currently in a student health clinic. And, I'm really grateful for all the different experiences that I've had, simply because I've got to learn a lot of different ways of practicing medicine and different specialties. I've also gotten to connect with different communities, definitely like the uninsured or the underprivileged has been a huge community that I've worked with in the past. But I'm really, I love the patient interaction. Right now with COVID and everything, we've been doing a lot of things via telehealth or telemedicine. And that kind of provides, just a different way of doing things via Zoom, right? Doing an office visit. But even that in itself, in medicine, we're always kind of learning something new, right? When something hits like COVID, it's like, okay, now we're changing the way we're doing things. Now this is how we're going to do it. And I find that really exciting in medicine. It's scary too, right? Because when COVID hit, that's a scary time for us medical providers. But at the same time,
you. Thank you. I just wanted to say, thank you, all of you people that, have helped us get through this, everyone in the medical field. My goodness, I just want to just say that, like our listeners, we love you from the bottom of our heart. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. And all the medical providers who just have constantly, been going to the ER or the hospitals, or, people like me who don't necessarily work in the hospital, but we work at clinics. We've, just shifted the way we're doing things, right? Adapted to new things in a time when things have been scary. But I find that that's also exciting about medicine, right? Just changing the way we do things, taking a new approach, learning something new is just something that is fascinating and that drives me in that field of work that I do.
Wow. Well, as I said, thank you. And medicine is magical in many ways because it is. Like magic is the ability to create change and to heal. So I don't think people often think of it that way when you say, medicine. They think science, but it's pretty spiritual and magical too. Make no mistake about it.
Absolutely.
Wow.
And you know what? We do have to go off of the knowledge of medicine, but we also have to use our intuition a lot of the time. We have to use our intuition in terms of, what is somebody not revealing to me that is important, in their health right now, right?
Absolutely.
A lot of times when we make decisions, it is medically based, but also it has some intuition in there, taking into account the person, the current circumstances, how you see things playing out. So definitely I also use my intuition in medicine, which I'm grateful for too, that, that I have other areas where I can also develop my intuition.
Absolutely. And I know you said that you went to school to be a writer, and I know you because, we're both getting back into writing, right? That's how we met.
Yeah, that's how we met. We're both doing our writing now, which I think is amazing that, somehow tarot brought me back to my writing.
Exactly. So yeah. I guess we should give a big shout out to our friends first of all, let's give a shout out to the wonderful Teresa Reed, the tarot lady, and she has she's certainly someone that you want to follow on social media, but she has this wonderful Patreon group, where you can she's such a generous spirit with what she offers. So I want to give out a big shout out to her, as well as our 10 buddies over there. We're like a group of people. I got into it because I suddenly, although my background was always in art and design, I never really tried to do a tarot deck. And with the wind down time we had with the pandemic, I suddenly found that I created a tarot deck, and I said, gee, I originally did this just for me, but, maybe people were saying put it out there, but, I had to write a little book to go with it. It's not done yet, folks, but, and then I just, I had been following Teresa anyway. She does a wonderful Instagram every single day, and I found out she had this group. So that's how I met Lily, and the rest of the gang. So if you guys are listening in, hello, buddies.
And I'm so excited for your deck. I can't wait for it to come out. I'm ready to get it. I'm ready to purchase it. And the concept that you have is amazing. So I'm looking forward to it. And I think Teresa Reed is so amazing too. Her Patreon provides so much information and classes, and when she opened up this writing circle this year, an amazing opportunity to just gather a great group of people together who are committed to their writing. I jumped on it right away when she said she was going to have this writing group, and everybody in the writing circle is so wonderful and such talented writers.
Yeah. Well, it's so funny, when writing is really magical. What you write, I've really gotten into, I make a list every day of what I want to do. And do you know that list actually becomes magical? So, as far as I will find that everything that I put on that list, most of the time, I'm able to accomplish it. And for bigger stuff where it's like manifestation, I really tell everyone, make a list. And, words are magical spells. Spelling is, you hear when you spell, your words create. So it's not just how shall we say, a creative art, but it's a magical art too. But then I guess magic is creative.
And it's also so, speaking of healing too, writing can be so healing, right? When you write about your experiences, or even, create stories that may revolve around your experiences, there's a lot of healing that happens in that process. So
most definitely. Yeah. I have one of the people that I follow. He says if you don't like what's going on in your life, just rewrite it. So if there's something that you want to, you can rewrite it. That not that it didn't happen, but you can rewrite the way that you dealt with it. And you'll see that kind of evolve, we really are the stories that we create about our life. It's like, you can go once upon a time and then just fit yourself right into that. Yeah. Now,
I really like that.
I know well, I know that you're really passionate about what you do, and we're going to talk in a minute about how people can get in touch with you and follow you. But who are your dream people that you like to work with? Probably everyone, but do you have like a special dream client that you like to work with or you want to work with?
That's interesting. Dream client that I would like to work with. This is going to sound silly.
Silly is good.
But I would love to work with J-Lo for some reason. I don't know why, but she's a fellow Leo,
Yeah.
You know, I look at her love life and I'm like, oh, I would love to read the tarot for her. I just don't know why, but you know, speaking of celebrities, that's like, you know, one person that it would be fun for me to work with. You know, another one for me that is not like on that level of celebrity, but who's a writer, poet, you may be aware of who she is Lisa Marie Bazille. She put out a book. No, she's on Instagram. She's a writer. She's a poet. She put out a book called The Magical Writing Grimoire, which actually Teresa Reed recommended, and because she recommended it, I purchased it and I read it and I love it. It's really about like magic and writing, and she's a Scorpio. I would love to work with her. You know, either through like, you know, being able to read tarot for her or just working with her like on a creative project. I think she's an amazing writer. She also has a magazine called Luna Magazine, I believe it's called. And
I got to look into that.
Yeah, they were just accepting, I guess twice a year they call for submission, so you can like send your work in, and they're an online magazine, and so I sent one of my writings in, and I'm crossing my fingers and hoping that they'll pick it, but, you know, I don't know how many, you know, entries they get, but yeah, Lisa Marie Bazille, that's somebody I would like to work with. She's really cool.
Cool. And I guess you work with, like, you know, everyday folks, too. Because you never know. An everyday folk might become a celebrity. You never know. Especially after they've had, like, a really good reading. Yeah.
Yeah, and you know what's interesting about, you know, working with, like, you know, just the people that I meet on Instagram or through YouTube by doing, or people who reach out to me for personal readings. What I really like is just inspiring them, you know, like inspiring them in whether it's with their writing or their businesses or their love life or what they want to do with their lives. Like, you know, regardless of who it is, whether they're a celebrity or somebody who comes to me for a personal reading, to me, I love inspiring people, right? Like if I can provide a message that to you is going to either bring a creative idea or a new way of looking at things or something you hadn't thought about that the tarot is bringing forward for you, anything like that that's going to motivate you is really a dream client and a dream reading, right? Like, I mean, that's where what it's all about.
Yeah, well, you know, when you inspire someone, you illuminate that special, help them discover and, you know, like you show them that special gift they have. And it's not just for them, but it's for the whole world. I mean, you know, I believe that everyone who comes here in, you know, this lifetime, they're very unique, and there is something that is a special gift that they need to share with the whole world. And, you know, if you can, you know, inspire someone and help them discover that, wow, it's a win-win for everyone.
Absolutely. Yeah, I agree. We all have something unique to offer. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. So do you have any, like, success stories that you can tell our listeners about of, you know, readings that you've done with people? I know you said that your YouTube channel goes out all over the world, and people do, you know, get in touch with you and say, hey, you were right on. So, like, any stories to tell our listeners about where, you know, people have got in touch with you and said, wow, you know, you helped me.
Yeah. I've had, I would say, probably a handful of experiences where one thing that's coming to mind is I did do a personal career reading for somebody. And, to me, it just the reading talked about details that they needed to work on, right? In terms of launching their career, different schedules that they had to create for themselves. And that's somebody that I know on Instagram. And when I provided that reading for her, I really noticed a shift in the way she was like projecting herself on Instagram, right? Like somehow she just polished a lot of things up and changed a lot of things and just really started putting herself out there. And I was like, wow, that's really interesting, the way that reading really like motivated her and touched her and really kind of like tapped into this fire and this drive for her. That was really kind of inspiring to see, that, a reading could really kind of do somebody. I also just kind of see it too, again, when I do like my Sunday Instagram lives and I pull a card for people, like I said, I often get people, just really thanking me and just telling me like, I really needed to hear that message. Thank you so much. Like, or what you said about that happening this week, that really happened, and to me, that's just, it's nice to be able to provide either messages of caution for people or messages of like, hey, you're going to feel really inspired. You're going to be able to do this week. You're going to be able to go get that thing that you've been wanting to do, right? Like, to me, that's all like whether it's a one card pull that I do for somebody or a personal reading or just a collective message that I provide on my YouTube channel. It all is, it fuels my fire, right? To be able to connect with somebody in that way.
Awesome. Well, we're going to be taking some calls in a few minutes, so we'll hopefully, we know we're going to be inspiring some of you callers out there. But before we do that, Bruja Lili, tell us how our listeners can follow you. What is the name of your YouTube channel, your Instagram, all of that good stuff. So we want to make sure that everyone knows that. I know that if you're in our chat room, our wonderful Dax Carlisle has put in a lot of information on how to get in touch with you. But in case people aren't there, if they're listening on their phone, how can they follow you?
Yeah, so my YouTube channel is called Bruja Lili Tarot, and that's Bruja, B-R-U-J-A, Lili, L-I-L-I, and my Instagram handle is also brujalili.tarot. I also have a website. If you want to purchase a personal reading with me, you can do so on my website. My website is brujalilitarot.wordpress.com. I've also started a Patreon. I started a Patreon May 1st of this year. And you can also find me on Patreon as Bruja Lili Tarot. I do weekly love readings on my Patreon. I've taken over the moon readings are now on my Patreon instead of my YouTube channel. And also on my Patreon, what I've been doing is I'm doing a weekly series that I'm calling Voiced Words, where I actually read my writing and record it, and I post one weekly. So, my website still has my blog where I am putting my writing there, but if you actually want to hear me read my work, I do that over on my Patreon, which is kind of fun for me. I kind of like doing that.
Awesome. Yes. So we're gonna take some call. So if you want to just you want to get in line and call in, and I'm just going to start. And if you want a reading, we're going to be doing one card reading. So be ready with a question, and we're ready there to inspire you. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do these in order. So I'm going to go to caller who has an area code of 360. Caller, what is your name and where are you calling from? Hello. Hi.
Hi. Hello.
Hello.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Oh. Okay, my name is Lori.
Lori. And where are you calling from? Because I want to get a
I'm calling from Washington State.
Washington State. Okay. And how can we inspire? I like that word that Lily came up with. How can we inspire you today?
Well, I had some bad news yesterday. Like I'm having some trouble. I'm having some trouble with my son. Like he doesn't want me in his life at all because his father. And he got the restraining order against me after I was dropping off his things from his childhood at his house, and he said I could. And then he decided I couldn't, and he brought me to court. And then I didn't realize that I wasn't supposed to say hello to him if I saw him on the street. So I saw him on the street, parked on the side of the street, and I said hello. And he goes, "You're not supposed to say hello to me." And then the next thing I got in the mail was a thing saying I violated a court order, a protection order, and I got to appear in court again on the 15th, and I'm wondering how that's going to go. And I feel really, bad that my son is doing this to me.
Oh, Laurie, I'm so sorry. I'm really sorry to hear that.
Yeah, sorry to hear that, Laurie. That seems like a lot going on for you right now.
Yeah, it's really hurtful. Please, I know it's not based on reality. I know it's not based on reality, but he's influenced. He's got bad influences. So it just really hurts me, and I'm wondering what's going to happen to me. Are they going to throw me in jail, or what are they going to do to me this time?
So you have a court date coming up?
Yeah, on July 15th.
July 15th.
Are you working with legal help, or do you have
with
like
what?
a lawyer that you're Do you have a lawyer that you're working with?
I asked my public defender. I left him a message. I haven't been able to talk to him yet about it.
Because, that's important. That, anything legal, that's really important to also, and if that lawyer isn't helping you, just keep calling till you find someone who can help you. So we're going to send a lot of energy that you find that legal help that you need. What sign are you, Laurie?
Libra.
Libra. Okay.
And I have a moon in Virgo, and my son's a Virgo and has moon in Libra.
Okay. So what we're going to do is, on the air, we do like a one-card reading. And this is what I'm seeing. And then, Lily, why don't you go first, and then I'll go. What are you seeing for Laurie that we can, inspire her and, help her?
Okay, yeah. So I meant to pull one card, but three cards came out for you, Lori.
Yeah.
And the three cards that came out for you are the Hanged Man, the Eight of Wands, and the Eight of Cups. Okay? And so what this is telling me is that perhaps on this court date, you're going to have a new perspective on your situation. Okay? There's going to be a lot of communication that's happening. And you know, like Sharona said, you want to make sure that you have legal representation there, because that's going to be really important in terms of protecting yourself and really being able to communicate efficiently through a lawyer, okay?
Yeah.
Now, another thing with the Eight of Cups that I'm seeing here, we know that the Eight of Cups is, you know, about walking away from something that you put a lot of emotional investment into. So, you know, there's something about the court date where you're going to get a new perspective on things. You're going to be able perhaps maybe walk away from some of the disappointment that you've been experiencing or some of the hardship that you've been experiencing, okay?
Yeah.
But I think it's just going to be really important for you to kind of stay open, okay? To the ability to look at things in a different way, okay?
Yeah.
And that's what I'm getting for you. And I know Sharona's a little bit more of a numbers person, so I don't know if you want to say anything, Sharona, on 2 8s and what significance you think that might mean.
Well, I pulled, it's funny, I also pulled an 8 card. In fact, they add up to 8, and it finishes also with a 9 card. And that's the Moon card. And there's a lot to you. Right now, it's very difficult for you to see the whole picture. And to see the whole picture's going to evolve. And I see there's going to be changes. You know, be ready for that a change is going to come. But the change is also going to come when you do get this new information, you know, which is the 9 number. You know, it's going to be the ending of a cycle, and you're getting ready to go into a new cycle. And the 8 is the number that's around. You're going to have to courage and self-confidence. So you have to also, to me, that's also sending love to yourself. Okay? And, you know, you're in a hurtful situation, so the only way that you can repel that hurt is to love yourself and, you know, believe in yourself. You know, like it's like you're creating a bubble around yourself. And that's gonna help a lot.
Yeah.
You know, and get that information and believe in yourself. You sound like a wonderful mother, but you know, sometimes there can be a misunderstanding, and maybe the misunderstanding might not even be on your part.
Right. Mm-hmm. I know, but because he has a misunderstanding, he's gonna cause me some really serious problems. Like they could throw me in jail or something.
Well, that's where the legal representation comes in there.
Right.
You know, when, you know, with anything legal, I mean, that's, you know, your best resort there is, you know, get a good lawyer or good representation. Because the other cards that I have on you is I see you looking out at the bigger world, and finding the help. And it's also, like as Lily said, it's going to be around communication and hearing and comprehending what's going on.
Mhm. Right. And that's where a lawyer is really going to be helpful to you too, because they're going to be able to protect them. So you want to make sure that you, from now until then, you really make sure that you have somebody there protecting you and helping you.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
But
yeah.
definitely I see a light at the end of the tunnel. It might look a little different than what you think it's going to be, so just be open to that.
Okay.
Right.
So you don't see anything horrible? You don't see anything horrible happening to me?
No, I don't see anything horrible happening to you. But, definitely get help. What I see is helpful physical people around you, lawyers and counselors and those people who can help you.
Okay.
People that are in the flesh, not spiritual, but definitely solid, individuals that can get you that information and get you to a better place.
Okay. I understand.
Yeah.
Hang
in there, and it's going to be good. Tomorrow tomorrow things could look completely different. I hope that helps, exactly. Laurie. We're sending you lots of love, and we're letting you know that we really love you, and you're surrounded with love, and that you can overcome this.
Okay.
I'm going to put you back so you can listen.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Love you. Okay. I'm just going to take another call.
Hello.
So I see someone they're calling. They're calling. It must be Skype because it's like I just see 111111 across the board. So
hi.
Yeah, it's there. Hi. What is your name and where are you calling from?
Yes, thank you, Lisa, Arizona. Yes, it's Skype. Thank you very much.
Hey, Lisa.
Excellent introduction of what you're talking about. It's very, very interesting. I have a specific question. The job that I'm working now, they gave me like the job that I'm working now it's haven't been there for almost 2 weeks now, and I'd like to know if I'm going to be are they going to call me to come back to work? Am I going to be coming back to work at that location? I mean, at that site, or a different location, a different city? I'm a little bit in the blue because that's where my income comes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What would you like? Since we're all about kind of inspiring people. I mean, so that we have an idea of where you'd like for this to go. Do you really want to go back there?
I want to go back to the company. If they're going to put me somewhere else, that's fine. I don't care location. I just want to be with the same company.
Okay. So, do you want to go first, Lily, or do you want me to go?
However you would like to do it. I do have a couple cards here that came out. I can go first, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, so I guess the first card that came out for you is the Queen of Wands, okay? What this is telling me is that there may be somebody, at the company that you work at that is this Queen of Wands energy, right? Somebody who is maybe the decision maker, maybe somebody who kind of leads a team, maybe somebody who is responsible for deciding who gets to come back and who, is sent somewhere else. I'm kind of, and you also got the star card here. So I'm kind of seeing that if it's possible for you to maybe come in contact with the person who is this Queen of Wands, this person who is in charge and makes the decisions, if you're able to maybe reach out to this person or to express your interest in coming back to this person, whether you can do it directly or indirectly in some way, I think that that's going to get you what you want, okay? So what I'm seeing here for you is that you kind of have to let kind of like the people who do make the decisions of bringing you back, if you can let them know, like, hey, I really enjoyed working here. I'm hoping I can come back. I hope, that I can continue to work here. If you're able to do that, that's going to give you what you want. So that's what I have for you.
Yeah, and you know what? You're right on, Lily. That's what I'm getting. It's definitely you. And that's why I was saying, is this something you want? You have to really, if this is something that you want, I'm getting that you have to make an effort. I do see that you are going to get offers, but if this is the place where you want to be, don't be afraid to in some way indicate that to them. But definitely, I'm getting like that you're going to get offers, and definitely like Lily was saying, if you can express it in some way, that's gonna help move it along. Because right now it's kind of, there's like a, things are kind of stalled. So, to kind of loosen up that stuck energy.
Mm-hmm.
I hope that helps, Lisa. We're gonna send you a lot of love and surround you with a lot of love, and thank you for calling in. And I'm gonna just put you back so you can listen a little bit more. And what I have to do next is, my goodness, the time is really moving right along.
Oh,
so
wow.
I need to let everyone. You were almost like the sands are running through the hourglass, and I have to let everyone know what is going to be coming up. So tomorrow, Monday, June the 14th. I want to remind everyone that there is a show, the Wisdom of the Soul show, with Janice Fuchs, and that's going to be on 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern. You got to go in there and see if you want to listen to it live, those are the live times, but all of our shows are recorded. And the next show that's coming up is going to be on Friday, June the 18th, and that's going to also be at 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern. And the Doctors Are In show, that's going to be with Dr. Rose Wilkerson and Dr. Dax Carlisle. And they're going to have the Rhode Island medium, Savannah Martin. So we've all heard of the Long Island medium. This is the Rhode Island medium. So I know they're going to be, for those of you that also want to call in, if you called in today and you want more answers, that would be a good show to call into. And later that day, on Friday, June the 18th at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, one of my favorite hosts is going to be on, and her name is Catherine Hahn, and the name of her program is Spiritual Guidance Radio. So she talks to angels. So when you call into her show, she can hook you up with who your guardian angels are and get you an angelic message. So once again, you can call into that show if we don't get to you. And then on Saturday, June the 19th, 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern, there is the Tarot Today radio show. And that's with hosts Mary Brown and Dax Carlisle. You're going to be able to call into that show. And they're going to be talking about tarot card meanings versus intuitive tarot card readings. So I guess they're going to be talking about, there's a lot of talk about how, there's different ways to read with the cards. Some people study the standard traditional meanings that are attached to the cards, and then other people, they do it purely intuitive. I actually do both, and which is also, I want to remind you that I do readings, and what you can do is the best way to get in touch with me is go into psychictalk.net/Sharona, or just go into psychictalk.net, and you'll see the who our hosts are, and you can go in there. You can leave me a message, or if you're interested in booking a reading, you can book a reading with me there. If you want, a more lengthy reading where we can, where the hosts, like myself, can, give you much more time and guidance, that's the route that you want to take. And I do want to remind everyone that I'll be back in 2 weeks on Sunday, June the 24th, and that will be the same time, 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern. And I'll be talking with the fabulous Dax Carlisle. And we're going to talk about tarot magic, because tarot is not only a tool for divination, it's a tool for creating magic in your life and how you can work with the cards. So that all sounds good. And just need to take a sip of water.
All of that sounds wonderful, Sharona. Lots of good stuff coming up.
Yeah. Well, we invite everyone, as I said, to tune in to psychictalk.net. There's a whole website there, and you can get a lot more information. We're also part of the Tarot Guild, so you can go in there. There's all kinds of cool stuff that there's like free stuff that you can explore at the Tarot Guild. And as I spoke earlier, another good resource is the Tarot School. So mark your calendars, mark it down in your book. Okay, Lily, we can probably take one more call. So I am just going to kind of go in there and just see who might be looking for us to talk to them. So I'm going to go to area code 917. So,
hi, ladies. How are you?
Hi. What is your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Ashil. I'm calling from New York City.
Yes.
And I'm ready to start dating. So I want to know if you see me dating anyone anytime soon.
Okay.
All
We
right,
love doing love readings. Anyone listening, there's someone really good out there. What is your astrological sign?
Leo. Oh, this second.
Leo. Oh, wow. Yeah. The moon is in Leo tonight.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
and Mars is in Leo all the way through the end of July. So just off of that, it's a good time for you to get yourself out there for sure.
Good.
See.
Okay. I see some good stuff out there. How are you, interestingly enough, how are you exploring, finding that special person?
I'm not that I'm vaccinated. I've tried to put myself out. I've tried to be outside as much as possible. Go to the gym. My day off, I try to go to the park, and so I try to do as much as just being outside.
Out? You mean like out when you're out and about and
yeah, I'm just
meeting people?
Trying to go to the park. Go to the parks. Sometimes I go to a coffee shop, but I'm not big into the club scene, all that stuff.
Okay, because I'm getting a lot of. I mean, have you tried the internet?
A long time ago,
definitely...
I did a long time ago, but what happened is I realized a lot of people are lying. It's just sometimes what you see in the picture doesn't really match when you see in person. So.
Yeah, because I'm also getting like the whole thing with meeting somebody. I mean, and it's been particularly hard with everything. Like you're in New York, like me, and everything. People are, they're still not, coming out as much as, they're, people they've been inside. So that's where I just said, I'm seeing the internet, but also it's interesting that you mentioned the park. Are you involved with any groups that you meet within the park? I mean, because I kind of see, like a greater circle. I mean, I definitely, I'm getting the Ace of Cups, which is really, that's the card that says there's love out there. And I'm getting the Sun card. But I'm also getting that, you do have to put yourself out there. And it's going to come through, you're going to have to, it takes a little work. It's too bad that we can't order the perfect someone on Amazon. You gotta, that'd be great, if you could order someone like a pizza and they would show up and, so I see you, definitely meeting this person, but you're going to have to kind of work all the different options that are out there. And I see there's more than one person. So it's also the key to finding that perfect person is you kind of have to sample a lot of cups, I see multiple, people out there and, you choosing among them. What do you see, Lily?
Okay.
I like all of that, Sharona. I really do. The card that I got for you as the primary card here is the Fool's card, okay, which is all about starting fresh, putting yourself out there, starting this new cycle, just really kind of having this sense of adventure when it's going to come to love for you. I think that this is something you feel like you're wanting to start this new cycle. I also see here that you want to also be in a very romantic space. Okay, along with trying something new, you also want to put yourself into some romantic energy. I also got the Two of Cups for you, and this particular deck that I'm using is the Key Tarot, and it has a lot of outdoor themes here. So, the Two of Cups actually has two people out in a park, toasting. Okay. So I do, I would say follow that instinct that you have about like wanting to be outdoors and meeting somebody outdoors. Another thing too about the Fool's card is that there's a dog here, and I don't know if you have pets or not, or if you've been considering getting a pet, but sometimes having a dog is a good way to talk to other people and meet other people. Because you're out and about, you're at the dog park, you're chatting with people, and sometimes, that's one of the hard things about meeting new people is just like, how do you approach them and how do you talk to them, So just something to consider if you've been wanting a dog, it might help you find somebody, but I would definitely say, yes, because summer is coming up, outdoor spaces are going to be a good way for you to put yourself out there. And you definitely want to come into this with a fresh, new, romantic perspective for yourself. Good.
Sounds good. I don't have a dog, but, I don't mind going to the dog park. I will take a chance. I have nothing to lose.
There you go. You can go to the dog. If you like dogs, that's a good way, too, to just talk to people about their dogs.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much, ladies. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
You're
Thank you for
welcome.
calling in, and we're sending you lots of love, and we're putting it out to the universe that you find that perfect person. You sound really romantic, and so there's no doubt in my mind that there is that perfect someone for you. And thank you for calling in today.
Thank
you. Yeah, thank you.
Lily. Yeah. So, Lily, you know what? We're not going to get to all the calls today. So, as I said, there's other shows that you can call in. But what I usually do is let's pick one card for the collective. So we're just going to, you'll pick a card and I'll pick a card, and we're just going to read, and it's going to be, we're going to pick two cards. Lily's going to pick one and I'm going to pick one, and that's going to be a message for, if we didn't get to your call, it's going to be a message for you. So I just pulled one, and I'll let you go. Yeah, let my guests go first. So, Lily, you go first.
Yes. Okay. So the one card that I got here is the Hierophant, actually. So what I'm getting here is, some of us may want to, counsel with somebody this week, okay? Maybe we're looking for some guidance from either a community member, somebody that we trust, somebody that inspires us in our community. So I'm really kind of getting here that if you've been wanting or searching for maybe some guidance or answers or some sort of what steps should I take next, I think that this is a good week for you to seek out somebody that you trust, okay? It could be a family member, it could be a community member, but I think that they're really going to provide some knowledge and something to really kind of make you see things from a new perspective this week. And that's what I have for Rona.
And that's, what's interesting is the card that I drew, too, is about, this whole thing about, we might not think that, we're kind of looking in the wrong direction. If you're looking in, and you're looking at, and you don't see an answer to, or a solution to the situation that you're in, maybe turn around. You might be looking in the wrong direction, and and not be, that it's like right there behind you, and that whole thing is that where it may not look exactly the way, you're looking for the wrong thing. So, like, here is that thing that's right behind you. So don't be afraid to look in another direction, just kind of, actually making, like, turning around and not being afraid to do that. And that's what I'm getting.
Those actually go well together. Those messages go well together, I think.
Yeah. And I know we're in a moon in Leo, and I think on the 22nd, and a lot of things are kind of, Mercury's been in retrograde, and we're going to be switching. I think the 22nd it goes direct, but I also want to remind everyone that we went through a solar eclipse with the new moon on Thursday. So if things look kind of like a little bit off, it's kind of cosmic, and we've moved through that energy. So if we can just kind of hang in there, I'm getting this thing, hang in there. I know we've had a number of calls where, people were looking for an answer. The whole thing is just hang in there. Things have been a little, technology and, things have been a little off, and communication has been a little off. So, things in the next few days might look a lot different, but also be willing to turn around and, explore something different.
Yeah,
okay,
absolutely.
Well, that's what I'm getting. And
I love it.
So, yeah. So, folks, we are running out of time, and I just want to let everyone know that I'll be back on Sunday, June the 24th, and I'll be with my good friend, Tarot Master, Mr. Dax Carlisle, and we're going to be talking about tarot magic. And that's kind of like a big thing about, that I talk about in this show. Magic is whether you do it with tarot cards or you light candles or, however you bring it about. You could also write a list of what you want to see as far as changes in your life. But we have the ability to create magic. And that we are really magnificent creatures, but we don't really realize that. So I guess I want to say, yep, that, I'm your magical mama, Sharona Rapsick, and I got another magical mama with me who I want to thank, Bruja Lili. And
thank you. This has been so much fun. I really enjoyed it.
Awesome.
Thank you.
I enjoyed it too. We got to have you back again. And
absolutely.
I also, and I want to thank every one of my listeners out there, and I call them my lovely friends, because you are really lovely. And I want to thank you for joining me today. And we were talking about writing, so I also want to talk about words, what you speak. So I always tell people, if you're going to say something to yourself, and you want to always say good stuff. So I always tell people, go to the mirror and say, I am strong, I am confident, I am magical, I'm enough, I'm beautiful, and that I deserve the very best, and I deserve love. And you're going to see your energy change. And the funny thing is, you can laugh when you do it, because laughter, it just like makes that dark energy just disappear. So you can laugh while you're saying that too. And start laughing now. You can laugh at what I'm saying. Laugh at me. And everything's energy, the universe, you and I, and just you want to, pay attention to it, and, look for what's positive, and that's going to be a blueprint to attract more of that good stuff into your life. Because, we live in a magical universe, and so I want you to keep your energy and your vibrations high, and just picture yourself just stepping into that power, and awake your magic. So, until we meet again, which will be Sunday, June 27th, is it? It'll be in 2 weeks. I am wishing you countless blessings and high vibrations. I love you all. I love you, Bruja Lili. Thanks for joining me.
I love you too, Sharona. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
You too. Okay, folks, here comes the music. Love ya.